Hey guys, it's Eric at SideQuest Comics, and today I have a local pickup show-off comics for you guys today. I picked up a big old stack over, I'd say, the last 2 weeks or so at my local comic store, Jay's Comics in Northern Illinois, if you want to check them out on Instagram and Facebook. But I wanted to do something different today. But before we get into that, if you guys could give us a thumbs up, a like, a subscribe, and even comment down below afterwards to let me know about my pickups. What were your favorites? But yeah, like I said, I wanted to do something different. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to actually go camera down so you guys can get a better view of the books that I got. All right, this is a big stack I have to go through. So I hope you guys like this kind of new camera angle I'm going to do on this one so you guys can see a little bit better. And let's jump into it. So some of these I got, I was at the store and I started digging through a lot of their bins that they bring from their storage to price and put out. And they usually let me go through them a little bit early. So this one is one of the first ones that I found. It's Crypt of Shadows, Volume 1, Number 4 from 1973. I love these old 70s horror books that they have. I don't know, something about them. I don't know if it's the art, it's the stories themselves, but they really just, I really like them a lot. Okay, and then next we have another horror one, Dead of Night, Number 5. And I'll admit, this one came out in 1974, cover by Larry Lieber. I'll admit, I think the cover by Larry is what got me. I am a big zombie, ghoul, vampire type fanatic. And I really like this guy right here, Deep Down, and when they put stuff like this, tags, are they vampires or are they ghouls? It just, I like that, I don't want to call it cheesiness, but just that flavor that the horror comics had in the 70s. All right, and then we have Defenders. This is their first volume from 1981. This cover is by Michael Golden, and this one, it totally was the cover. I mean, it's Ghost Rider on the cover. This is a series I've been thinking about starting to pick up. I have like a few random ones that I've gotten. This one I got for just a couple bucks, $3. And most of these comics here I got just for a couple bucks, just because they're reader copies. They're mid-grade. They're not like super collectible. A lot of them have spine ticks, or some of them have little folds. But yeah, this one, the cover is what got me. I'm probably a third of the way from getting Ghost Rider Volume 1. It's one of my quests. So when I saw this, I was like, yeah, I have to have that one. And this one I just got just a couple days ago. This is from The Incredible Hulk, the first volume, 197. Now, what's cool about this one from 1976 is it's a Bernie Wrightson cover. Many of you know he did a lot of Swamp Thing stuff. So to see him doing a Man-Thing cover also is kind of cool. And, I got this mainly because it goes with this one right here, 198. So it's like a story, a 2-part story that I only had one of them. This one I got from a dollar bin. So I was kind of excited to see this to complete that storyline. And just the fact that, Bernie did this. So that is why I actually picked up this Hulk. So this one is one that I started collecting, Marvel Chillers. Now, this one is number 2, featuring Mordred the Mystic. This is Mordred's second appearance, actually. His first was in number 1 of Marvel Chillers. And this one, this is 1975. This is another 70s kind of, I think it was supposed to be a horror type comic, but I believe after 2 issues with Mordred, they switched to Tigra for 5 issues. I mean, that was early when she was introduced into the comics, and realistically, that's why I started getting this series, is for the issues with her. But then, of course, typical me, it's like, well, I got to get them all. I got to find them all. And for the most part, I found all these in dollar bins. This one, like I said, mid-grade. I'm happy to have it. So I just need number 1 to finish this series off. And I know number 1 will be a little bit pricier just because it's his first appearance. Now, this one I got of Man Thing. This is actually, it says Adventure into Fear, but if you look this up, it's known as just Fear. And I thought this was just a cool cover with Man Thing on it. So it's 1973, number 16. And this was one, let's see, Man Thing ran from issue 10 to 19 of Fear. And during his run, there was a lot of keys for his story arc in Fear. So this one I just thought was a cool cover. It was cheap. It was only a couple bucks. But I also at the same time I found going through the box at my store, they had this one, The Living Vampire, and this was one of Morbius's first solo storylines that he's featured in. And I happen to have one other one from this run. Now, I think, ran through 12 issues, and this came out in 74. So when I saw both of these, I was like, oh, 2 issues from the same series. I might as well get it. They're cheap. Granted, like I said, there's a lot of key books with Man Thing, and I think there's a couple key ones with Morbius. But if I find them in the dollar bins, I'll grab them. If not, well, I'll just keep looking. It's a quest that I'm not super, going after, but if I see them, I pick them up. So this one, you guys have probably seen me featuring some of the amazing adventures on here with Killraven or War of the Worlds. This is the beginning of that series. This is that same series that has Beast for the first time with Fur. And this, I have a lot of holes in this. Ever since I first came through getting the Killraven ones and then the Beast ones, it's like, okay, of course, I got to get them all. So this is number 2 from 1970. And what I like about number 2 is this is Kirby. Jack Kirby didn't draw it. He actually wrote this. Is John Buscema, who actually did the art on these. And I actually found number 5 in the same box at Jay's Comics. And this one, number 5, is from same year, 1970. But this one has Roy Thomas that wrote it. So this is probably early in Roy's career at Marvel Comics. If you guys don't know, Roy Thomas went on to become editor. He replaced Stan Lee, and he was responsible for bringing us like Wolverine, Ghost Rider, a lot of those horror comics from the 70s. So kind of cool to fill up a little bit. I'm chipping away at Amazing Adventures a little bit at a time, and eventually I hope to have them all. Okay, this Marvel Triple Action. Now, this is actually my second copy of this. This is one of those ones that I wanted to get. I chased it for a long time because of the iconic cover, Dr. Doom. That's a big draw to this comic. And I have an earlier copy of Marvel Triple Action, number 2. In 1972, this came out. And the one I got in the dollar bin. So it actually has like some overspray, like somebody was doing some model painting next to it and it just got spray on it. Now this one's a little bit better. I didn't pay a whole lot. It's still a reader, but it presents a lot better than the other copy I got. And what's cool about this is it's Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. So that's kind of I'm going to get it, especially for only a couple bucks. All right, next, this is a new series I just started questing after. I picked up like 2 issues on Whatnot with a Halloween sale that I think I'm going to have an unboxing soon, so keep an eye open for that. But this is Frankenstein's Monster, number 3, 1973. This is when they started, they lifted the comics code, so they started doing the horror stuff in the 70s, which I love. And this is from an 18-issue series. So like I said, I just started. This is my first one. I have 2 more in a box somewhere, so I got kind of a ways to go. I think it's 4 and 6 I got coming, but classic art. I love this art from this series, so I'm excited to get some more of this series. I'll have to keep looking for them. I know they're hard to find. Usually when I see them, they're a little bit pricey, so but not too bad. It's just a matter of finding them. And then going along with the 70s monsters, of course, this was one I kind of was holding off. I was holding off on getting, but come on, you see a number 2 of Tomb of Dracula. Yeah, it's not in the best shape. I think I paid, less than 20 bucks for it. Not too bad. It's 1972, so it's pretty old. And this is the second appearance of Dracula in Marvel Comics. Now, the art's by Gene Colan, which I love this art. I don't know, that early 70s art is very classic traditional illustration to me. As there's a lot of the ink work, the black line work and stuff that I really like of these old Tomb of Draculas. Now, I have been picking up a lot of these on Whatnot. I've been coming across a lot of good deals where I'm buying the books for under 10 bucks. Because usually locally, when I do find these, they're anywhere from 10 to 20 bucks an issue. Now, I can understand for key issues, which that's the problem. There's a lot of key issues in this series. But if I can get them for under 10 bucks, I'm okay with that. I just want to have them to read them and enjoy them. Okay, now this one, I featured these next couple ones in a shorts on YouTube. This was one of my side quests that I had for a really long time. And I got Uncanny X-Men number 1 and 2. And then this, I believe, is number 22 from 1998. Now, the thing is, my quest is done for getting these Uncanny X-Men annuals. There was a total of how many was there? There was 25 in total. So I just needed these last 3, and these first 2 were 1970, 1971. Both of these ones were reprints. Number 1 was a reprint of number 9 and number 11 of X-Men, and then number 2 here was a reprint of 22 and 23. Now, these are not in the best of quality. Like, I think number 1, it's got a little bit of tear because they're square bound. It's got a little bit of tear there. I think the back cover has some folds on it, but it's still readable. The staples are solid. This one's in better shape, number 2. I think it does have a little tear here somewhere on it. But they present well, especially this one presents very well. And like I said, it's a quest complete. Now this one was like brand new from 98 is what this one was, featuring the Fantastic Four. Once again, it was the one to finish off the run. So I am done with Uncanny X-Men annuals. And then this X-Men here that I got is another one that I needed to finish a huge run. This is a hole filler right here, 467 from 2006. Now, this is a key book. I think it's a minor key with the first team appearance of the Shi'ar Death Commanders. But I needed this to fill a run from 113 to 544. So I have that huge run. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, I just need, I think it's 2 more now for my Claremont run that I'm just having a hard time finding in the wild locally. And I'm trying to resist going online and just buying them to be done with. Now, this was the big book for me out of this big old stack. My local store just, they started bringing in some long boxes from a huge collection that they bought a year ago because they haven't, done it in a while to refill some stock. But this is one that I haven't seen in the store very often, but it's Uncanny X-Men number 42 from 1968. Now, this is a major key book because this was the death of the Changeling, who was actually disguised as Professor X. And then also we get the origin of Cyclops in this one. So this is early original 5 X-Men. I'm eventually going to have to start getting some of these once I finish my Claremont run. So when I see them for decent price, I pick them up. The store kind of gave me a little bit of deal on this one. Being a frequent, buyer type thing, they do that for their customers. So this was one that I wanted to get. It kind of extended a little mini run that I had in the 40s. So I couldn't pass it up. All right. So now we're getting into the stuff that I really like digging through, and that is the dollar bins. So they had a bunch of dollar bins that they had there that they're picking through to see if there's anything of decent value or whatnot in it. And of course, they let me go through this stuff, and I love digging through dollar bins because you never know what you're going to find, like this one. So I have number 2 of this that I found before, and I was like, oh, this looks cool. Atari Force from, what is this? The early 80s, 82, I think is when this came out, 84. And yeah, it's a number one. So, now I got 1 and 2 of this. It was $1. What the heck? Why not? And, I can have fun looking at these old ads that they have in there. But yeah, Atari Force, it's not too bad. I mean, it has some wrinkle, but like I said, it's going to be a reader copy. And then a lot of these dollar books, I'll just go through them real quick. I got them because I've been getting some of these. These are I found a lot of horror 70s comics. So Chamber of Chills, number 21, cool cover, guy being eaten by a snake at the fun house or something. Number 2 of Crisis on Infinite Earths. I have number 1. I don't usually see these in dollar bins. I don't really care about the shape. I can read it now. Number 17, Crypt of Shadows. Got a little bit of grease pin there, but you know what? It's still intact. I can read it. So yeah, Crypt of Shadows, number 17. Dead of Night. I'm slowly chipping away at this one. This is number 10. Some kind of big old carnival creature there. Uncanny Tales from the Grave, number 6. Some creepy art going on there. Another Uncanny Tales from the Grave, number 7. Looks like some kind of vampire woman there. And I couldn't resist this. This is one of my favorite movies as a kid. Walt Disney Showcase, Cat from Outer Space. Plus, you get the Shaggy Dog. So this is basically, they took the movie and they made it into a comic book form. If, I saw this as a kid, I would have loved this because I actually love this movie. I still watch it as an adult. Both these movies, really. So for $1, couldn't pass it up. And then finally, lastly, from my dollar bin, guys, all I can say is do not overlook dollar bins. Okay, so this is a whole stack of Boris the Bear. Now, Boris the Bear was from 1986. This is early Dark Horse comics. And Boris was created, written, drawn by James Dean Smith. I got these, like I said, all for $1. This is like almost a whole series. I am missing 7 issues in the run. And the big key in this is, let me see if I can find it, is number 6. Now, what number 6 is so important is this is, for all you Liefeld fans out there, his first published artwork was in Boris the Bear, number 6. Here, let me see if I can find it real quick. It took me a while to find it when I first got that. But as you can see, this is all black and white, too. This is when Dark Horse Comics was very indie. All their stuff was black and white. And let's see if I can find it. I think it was like in the letters pages. There we go. That was right there. Liefeld's first published artwork. Crazy, huh? So for you collectors out there, it was... And yeah, if you like Rob Liefeld, there you go. Before X Factor or not X Factor, X Force and Cable and Deadpool were invented, he was drawing pouches and tons of guns right from the start. But yeah, that was Boris the Bear that I found almost a whole series. Like I said, I'm just missing 7 from this series. There's a little, this was kind of like a spoofy. It's basically Boris was fighting all the mutated teenage mutant whatever, and there's a little spoof of Punisher. Eventually, I think Dark Horse, they parted ways with the creator, and he started his own comic brand here. But I think when you look it up listing wise, it still says Dark Horse. But yeah, and this ran, let's see, 19. Like I said, I got almost a full run of this series. 22, there's 23, 4. I'm just going through these real quick, you guys, so you can kind of see the covers. I mean, this is kind of just pure nostalgia. I remember this, not that I really read it. There it is. 34 was the last issue. This actually, strangely enough, was part 1 of a 3-part storyline, but it got canceled right at 34. So it was never, they were never able to complete it. And Dark Horse did release a colorized version of number 1. I think they released 3 issues in color. And then some Boris Adventure Magazine #1. I think this might have been the only one they did, but yeah, that was my little local comic haul from the last couple weeks, you guys, at Jay's Comics. Check them out online, like I said. If you're local to Wisconsin, Illinois, or if you're ever north of Chicago, you can look them up. So we'll go ahead and go up and close out. Well, guys, I hope you liked that new camera angle for showing off some of the books that I just got, my recent pickups. You know, whether it was my Boris the Bear dollar bin dive sets that I found. Keep your eye open for #6 for those Rob Liefeld fans out there. Maybe you liked all those other dollar bin books that I got, you know, from all the creepy Crypt of Shadows, or, you know, I found some good horror in the dollar bin. Or maybe it was one of the other cheapy books that I got, Crypt of Shadows, or maybe, you know, some of the Chillers, you know, the movie monster stuff I got, some Amazing Adventures, classic Doctor Doom, some Dracula love, or, of course, X-Men. You know, you guys really are X-Men fans like I am, and this was your favorite. Make sure you guys let me know down below in the comments. Make sure you subscribe. I really appreciate it. And give me a thumbs up for a like if you like this video. And like I said, let me know what you guys think. But that's all I got from you for my local pickups at Jay's Comics. And until next time, when you're digging through those dollar bins and discount comics at your local store, happy questing out there, guys. And we'll talk to you next time.